Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. Can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan. With me, as always, is my good buddy Rob.
Hello.
This is episode number 54.
Sure is.
Good old 5-4.
That's right. The good old 5-4.
And wherever you're watching this, you probably noticed that we got a brand spanking new intro. I think Rob actually put it on the audio podcast last week. But
I did. I didn't get the memo we weren't doing that, so
yeah.
This may be the second week for the audio folks.
Yeah, but for the video, this is the first week. Let us know what you think. You can email us at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. As always, we'd love to hear from you. And also, while we're doing housekeeping, we have a little thing called a Patreon. And that's, if you'd like to support us in any way. We are at 3 members now. And Rob has agreed that when we hit 5, that he will live stream himself playing some Resident Evil 7 with his shirt off.
No.
Oh. With his pants off.
No. Well, maybe. But no.
We'll never know. Only if you stood up and ran away and just seen you in your tighty whities, right?
Yep. So yeah, if you want to see me scream like a little child and hate one straight hour of my life, 2 more Patreons, even at $1 a month, just $1 a month. Do you know what you can buy for $1 a month? Nothing. Not a single thing. No. Except quality entertainment. Like that.
One thing we should point out, and it hasn't been pointed out yet, it is US dollars. That's
right. But we're worth it.
We are. I think we are.
Please.
But you know what? It's really just a mutual respect thing because we're going to do this regardless. But
that's right.
If you wanted to help us out.
Finger guns.
Last bit of housekeeping. The favorite console poop tournament is going on. And I only say that because I'm getting tired of dealing with Facebook, and Rob typed in poop on the show notes.
Yes.
But, so not only can I not make polls on our regular page, I have to share them from our forum. But this week's share from the forum won't let you vote on the page. You got to actually still follow the link over to the forum, which used to be able to. Mm-hmm. And even on the forum poll, I can't add pictures anymore to the choices. So I'm honestly thinking I might just let this die out at this point, because I know people are still voting, but it's just very discouraging. Mm-hmm. I did put in a trouble ticket. That's usually me. That's usually me who does that.
Oh, welcome to the team. Sorry, I started a new job today, so I had my phone on. And someone from the Microsoft Teams app for my new job said, "Welcome to the team."
Awesome.
Right here. It's great.
That's another thing. I mean, super happy for you, guy. You've been
well, thank you.
Struggling along here. The whole COVID thing did not make anything easier for you to find gainful employment. So
I went with the ungainful. I could only sell so much blood as well.
Yeah.
Jokes on us. If there are any Americans listening, we can't sell blood in Canada. Not legally.
No.
Doesn't mean you can't, if you know what I'm saying. Wink. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been good. Today was the first day back in gainful employment, and I think it went well. I think they liked me. They didn't say they didn't, so.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. That's all I got to say about that.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. All right. Shall we move into news?
Let's do news.
Okay.
News.
And the news tonight.
In the news.
We have the worst bumpers.
We do. We really need to work on some bumpers.
Yeah, they're mistimed and,
Yep.
They never consistently sound the same.
Nope. Sometimes it's just us yelling random things like, news!
News! It's time
News!
for news!
It's the news! Nintendo did things. News at 11. They didn't do anything.
In our first bit of news, on September 23rd, Nintendo announced that there are 4 more games coming to the SNES and NES Online. Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest, Mario Super Picross, which I just bought a Japanese copy of.
Right.
Because it's around here somewhere. Anyways, because I had the SNES mouse. I wanted to do a Let's Play of that, and I just haven't quite got around to that yet. And the Peacekeepers, which I had no idea what it was, but I just watched the video before we started here, and it's like a beat 'em up, side-scrolling beat 'em up. So I'm gonna give that a try because I like me a beat 'em up.
It's true.
And then for NES Online, there's a game called SCAT, Special Cybernetic Attack Team.
Yes.
Not the type of scat that you're not supposed to look up on the internet.
I'm a scat man. Beep, bop, 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 beep, boop.
And that one, the video they showed.
Sorry, carry on.
It's an up-scrolling game. It looks like you're on a jetpack and you're just constantly going up and fighting off things from the side. So, yeah. Anyways, those are coming out Wednesday.
September 23rd, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Next bit of news. Fortnite is adding Ray Tracing and DLSS. And that already happened. It happened on the 17th. I meant to check it out, but I didn't get a chance to.
And you know what's funny about that is that none of the competitive gamers are going to turn it on because they want more frames.
Right.
Putting it in the esports title just seems like kind of a waste of time, but I'm not Epic. Well, I mean, I'm Epic, but I'm not Epic, the game company. I'm not being sued by Apple.
Yeah, but they said it was to go with NVIDIA's RTX event.
All right. I mean, it makes sense. Why not add it, right? But
also, they announced that, Fortnite's coming to the PS5 and the new Xbox Series S and X there, and they're all about them ray tracings.
It's all about the ray tracing.
So good timing on their part.
Yep. But you can only get Fortnite for the Xbox or for the Sony PlayStation tomorrow. No, just kidding. Tonight you have 3 minutes. Go.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you missed it. Sorry, you couldn't get Fortnite for the Sony. Do you see what I did there?
I did.
That was the PlayStation 5 launch in an allegory. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, because we don't have them in the news, but should we talk about that quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Good job, Sony. Way to go. All right, next. No, Sony, they had the launch. They had the big press release, and everyone's very excited. And was it that same day? That night, even though they had released in an official Twitter release that they were going to pre-orders would open the day after.
Yep.
They opened it up that night.
Yeah, most of the pre-orders opened that night.
Yeah, and everyone panicked. It was like different times for different stores. And if it wasn't for Twitter, no one would have really known, but people just started freaking out and ordering, and some stores, like some EB games got them and some EB games didn't. It was like,
yeah,
it had to be the worst launch ever. Like,
it was absolute mayhem. And But they, like, I guess when you want to make an impact, they've been kind of behind the eight ball and everything with this generation launch, and
Right.
they made it seem like it was on their terms when they were finally getting their release date out there. So,
and then all the retailers said, "Nope, we're launching at night."
Yeah.
F you and I. So yeah, if you got a PS5, let us know. Let us know in the comments if you actually got one, or if you tried to order it, you didn't. We're really curious because we heard nothing but bad things from people trying to get them. So
one of my friends got one.
Nice. Yeah. Is he a Russian bot or
no?
I mean, no. It wasn't the 3080 launch from Nvidia. They did actually have some stock, so
yeah. But not anywhere now.
That's right.
It is gone.
You know what else doesn't have any stock anymore, Ryan? Our next news item here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Good segue.
Yeah.
Nintendo also announced this week that I should pour one out here, but I don't want to make a mess. The 3DS is officially discontinued. Like, no more production. They'll just let the stocks run out now.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, do you think the average consumer knew they were still making them?
I don't know. I as soon as COVID hit, you couldn't find one anywhere.
Right.
So I think stock's already been used up.
Right.
Personally. And I don't think there's many brand new ones out there to be found besides paying horribly inflated prices for them.
Right. But really, folks, don't do that. Not for the 3DS.
Yeah.
You're not going to, I don't know. I guess there's a couple must-have play games on there. Maybe. That are exclusive. Like the Metroid?
Oh, yeah. The Metroid is amazing on there.
There you go. There's one.
There's a ton of games on there.
Well, there's a ton of good games, but are there a ton of good games that you couldn't play somewhere else?
Well, any of the first-party Nintendo titles. I'm going to say.
Sure. Like Mario Kart 7?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying there isn't. I just can't think of one off the top of...
Yeah. It really it's about the first party Nintendo games, because there's also all the 3D remakes of there's like a 3D remake of or Ocarina of Time, and Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3.
Right. Okay.
I mean, it yeah. To me, though, the pinnacle of all the titles, though, is the Metroid, because not only is it a Unreal Metroidvania, fancy that, it's got the best 3D in it.
Sure.
Of any of the games I've seen on there.
It is a real shame that it seemed like near the end of the system they were just dropping almost all support for the 3D. Like, it was just it was such a great technology, or at least I found it was great. Like, it didn't really get pushed. Not well.
Well, and also people don't realize that there was like a refresh of the 3DS too, the Super 3DS or whatever they were called, right? Like, it was very subtle if you didn't know what was going on. But that's the one where the 3D actually added the eye tracking.
Yes, yeah. And that supposedly made the 3D a lot better. That's the only one I ever had, was one of the new ones. So
yeah,
seemed to work great. I mean, it would give you a headache after a while, but so does hard drug use. So
the launch of that was so mediocre that I bought one right off the bat. Got with the small screen and everything, and the launch was so mediocre that they had a founders pack.
Yeah.
That if you
Yeah.
bought it before a certain date, they gave 20 virtual console games.
Right.
And some of them were never ever actually released on the store. Like that's the only way you could get them.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of cool, being part of that. I just found in the article here though that can you guess what the number one selling title was? And we mentioned it, and it's not Metroid. Of all time on the 3DS line.
On the 3DS, eh?
Yeah.
Was it Mario Kart 7?
It was.
Yeah.
And then it's followed by 3 iterations. No, 3 iterations of Pokemon.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
X and Y, Sun and Moon, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
You're just making things up at this point.
I wish I could be that creative. And the biggest selling third-party title actually came out in 2015. And it was Monster Hunter Generations.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's a pretty big title.
It was. It really was.
Well, I mean, the cartridge was the same as the other ones, but it wasn't any bigger. But
it was longer.
It was longer. That's right. Stuck in the top. It was like those Wisdom Tree Nintendo games you used to get where the cartridge was the weird shape. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, pour one out for the 3DS. I mean, honestly, I haven't touched mine in... I can't remember the last time I charged up my 3DS.
Yep.
Like, my portable gaming's done with the Switch now.
Yep. Which, yeah, that's the end of the 3DS. I think I had it turned on for when I was playing Shantae because they had... Yeah, you could get it in the virtual store as a Game Boy Color
that's right.
port, and you could get it in the virtual store for 3DS.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Sony, continuing to be dumb, made an official announcement this week.
They sure did.
There won't be any native support for PS1, 2, or 3.
Because lying is the way to go. That was not a great bumper. Carry on.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, that was one of the big things about this whole, like, generation is that they were finally gonna open it all up and, you know, you could...
Yep.
You could play and... yeah. I'm trying to find who said the quote here, but someone from Sony actually said with modern, this is, where's his name here?
It's Ryan something, right?
Yeah.
Jim Ryan.
Yeah. He actually said, like, why would people want to play these old games?
Yeah, why? PlayStation didn't have any hits. I think Xbox X proved that if you release new texture packs for some of the old games so you can play them, it's really popular because there were some great games. I mean, I wasn't a PlayStation guy, but I could sure admit there were.
Yeah.
It was really good. So make some new textures. I mean, Xbox did it. Like,
So, you know, this was all kind of quietly done too. I think people were asked official reps because there'd been just no talk about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. Honestly, like, why they didn't just say off the top if they weren't planning on doing this, right? Like, now they're doubling down. Oh, no one would want to do this. But when they first launched news about the PlayStation 5, it was big into it was going to support backwards compatibility.
Absolutely. It was one of the big, like, you know, it seemed like they were matching what Xbox was doing, and, you know, they see that Xbox is getting attention for their backwards compatible stuff.
And honestly, like, as the hardware gets older and older, right, your PlayStation 2 is going to stop working. Your PlayStation 3 is well, a lot of PlayStation 3s don't work right now. Like,
yeah.
It just seems to make sense, but I don't understand.
They've decided against it, so
Yep.
you don't need it, and why would you want it?
Why'd you want it? That's dumb. Don't be dumb.
Just get rid of all your old PlayStation stuff and just buy the new stuff.
That's right. Just do it. And maybe eventually we'll sell the old stuff on a virtual store once you've gotten rid of all of it.
Yeah. Once we've heard everyone's got rid of their old stuff.
Yeah.
And no one's using it anymore. Then maybe.
Sony.
On to happier news for me, anyways.
Right.
I announced that sometime this week they're going to be releasing a trailer and a new patch called Origins. And
Right.
I just love bringing this stuff up about this game because they are like they're still working so hard on this game. Like they have regular updates in between these giant named ones, but these giant named ones always add a ton of content. I loaded it up on the weekend and I was like, holy, I got to do this now and this and this. Like there's a whole, I could spend a whole month probably trying to catch up on all the stuff that they've added since I've been like kind of not playing it. That's great.
Yeah, it honestly is the greatest comeback from the worst launch to a game that's fully loved by the community now because of all the extra work they put in. So
yeah,
good for them. Good for them.
Yeah. So CD Projekt Red announced the minimum PC specs for Cyberpunk 2077.
Right. I got them up right here too.
That sounds like you didn't.
Here they are.
The minimum requirements, DirectX 12, an Intel Core i5, 3570K or AMD FX, is that 8310?
8310, yep.
Okay.
For all those people who still rock an FX chip, good for you.
Yeah.
Don't ever quit.
Also 8 gigs of RAM and a GTX 780 or Radeon 470. So that's pretty far back. That's pretty
reasonable. Yeah.
That's what I upgraded from.
Right. And also it'll run on Windows 7 if you want.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of funny, but so some love for our Windows 7 fans.
So that's a minimum, but the recommended is Windows 10, DirectX 12, Intel Core i7 4790, or AMD Ryzen 3. This writing's so small, I need my glasses.
3200G.
3200G.
Yep.
And 12 gigs of RAM.
Right. A very strange number, but okay.
And well, that's for the game, I guess, right? Like,
yeah. Well, it's just funny because you could actually it'd be very hard to make your computer nowadays to have 12 gig of RAM.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really sell, but sorry.
And then a GTX 1060 or a Radeon R9 Fury. And 70 gigs of SSD.
Right.
So
pretty medium specs, right?
Yeah.
Not too bad at all.
No. So so it seems to me they kind of take the Blizzard approach, right? Like they really make it playable on a whole lot of different systems, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. But if you have the beef, where's the beef system? Beef? I butchered that. I'm very tired. If you got a beefy system, they could still make it look even prettier though, with all the rays and
all the traced rays.
All the traced rays all over the place. And that's November 12th, right?
November 19th.
19th. Okay.
You were close. But close doesn't matter.
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah. Okay. And then this morning.
And Dan?
We were awoken by the sounds of Microsoft fanboys screaming at the tops of their lungs in a good way. It happened! It happened!
Yep.
So Xbox bought ZeniMax, which is the company that owns Bethesda.
Yep.
Which is huge.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Microsoft now owns Bethesda, the legendary publisher of Doom, Elder Scrolls, Wolfenstein, Fallout. We don't talk about Fallout much anymore, but
yeah. Well, the good ones and 76.
And 76. That's right. That's right.
Did you say Elder Scrolls?
I did.
Yeah. Elder Scrolls Online is part of that, and like, wow, that's I mean, Bethesda is one of those workhorse companies. They're kind of like Ubisoft. Like, it just seems like every 6 months they got something new coming out. Though,
yep.
I think since Fallout 76, I can't think of a new Bethesda game off the top of my head.
Well, Doom Eternal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they've probably launched Skyrim on 3 or 4 other devices since then. So now,
you see
my cat potato. Yeah.
See, you can play it right here.
Right there.
So, like, I saw there's a lot of chatter on the interwebs today about this, but the one thing that so I can see Xbox, they'll do timed exclusives on all the big franchises. But I mean, Microsoft lets their games they just friggin' launched last week Ori and the Will of the Wisp on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, just kind of like a
which is like a 6 or 7 month old game. It's not even it's not like when the first Ori came out, it had already been like 3 years old, or even Cuphead at that point, right? Like,
yeah.
But and Cuphead came to like the PS4, so
right, it did.
They're gonna let these games out, and I think that was the biggest worry people had, and that's the biggest gripe I saw. You just probably won't be able to play it right when you want to, if you're sticking with the PlayStation. But why not have both?
It's only $1,000 or so, give or take. American.
Well, give or take, and then games and.
So many games. One could almost say too many games.
Yes, we could.
Yeah.
So that was huge. That was. You have any thoughts on that? You wanna, besides kind of what we said already?
Yeah, it's another nail in the Microsoft being the greatest gaming conglomerate of, and honestly, just another one. They've already announced that all these games now, all Bethesda games, will be day one Game Pass launches, which they do with all their exclusives. Why would you not get Game Pass? Even if you were a PlayStation guy, like, why not get it for your PC or whatever, right? Like, it's such a value right now.
PlayStation Game Pass is a ridiculous.
Yep.
I could use this to segue just into what we've been playing, because I just finally renewed my Game Pass again. I've been holding off because I didn't want to have this problem, but I'm not going to segue yet, because I did want to mention something else that came out this week that we didn't have in our news here about the All Access. And we found out, of course, that All Access is basically the cell phone plan for your to get an Xbox, right?
Right.
Like, and they announced that you have to do it through EB Games here, which is GameStop in the States, and but they announced this week that that's not going live until after the pre-orders launch. So yeah, I think my dreams of having a shiny new Xbox for Christmas are kind of feeling a little dashed there.
Right. I guess it depends how much later, right? Like, if it's a couple of weeks, then you could still get it that way.
Yeah.
And here's something that's a great irony. I just thought about this. So at EB Games, which is a brick and mortar store that sells games, you can sign up for an Xbox that includes Game Pass, which will mean they're endorsing not buying physical games, including one of the systems, of course, that doesn't play physical games.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something.
Well, it's interesting because I mean they're known for selling games, but they're gonna have to become a hardware store,
right?
I mean,
Hammers,
already
drills.
Already, you go into EB Games here, 75% of it is pop culture stuff.
Yeah, you bet.
Video games seem to be the very least of their the stuff they sell there, right?
Yeah, and for our American listeners, EB Games is the Canadian branch of GameStop. So same store, just a different brand here. Which
EB,
I'm not sure why.
EB was Electronics Boutique.
Right. And they got bought by GameStop.
And then they wanted to become fresh, so they became EB Games.
They became EB. Worked really well for them. They're doing really well. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I the pricing hasn't been announced yet either for how much it's going to cost to use that Game Pass All Access, but really seriously leaning towards it. I mean,
sure. Yeah, why not? Why the heck not?
Yeah.
Do it. Do it now. So when you get one, X or S?
Oh, X. I'm going to give an X. But again, it depends on how much it costs monthly.
Right.
Might just get an S.
So, can I play devil's advocate here?
Absolutely.
What about the X, if you don't have a 4K TV, would appeal to you over the S?
Growth. Because I'm going to get a 4K TV one of these days.
Okay. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it has a drive. You know, I'd like to...
That's a good point. You can play the old games.
Play the old games on it, so... Yeah, the thing we were just bitching about.
Yeah. It's not important to gamers to play the old games, except for those of us.
Why would you want to?
Exactly. Like, there's no good games on Xbox.
Stare into this spinning wheel.
Yep.
And no.
I'm looking at a bunch of good games. The little one called Fable did all right.
Yeah.
Dance Central. Okay, that's not a great example.
Uh-huh.
I guess they said the Kinect's not going to work with the old games.
No. So yeah, I think that's all we got for news, right? Oh, you know something we didn't talk about, and it happened right before the PS event, and you know yeah, and because that's all we talked about last week was when we had the guys on, right? Nintendo has been having these weird little Beyonce drop little whatchamacallit, directs where they just
little mini directs,
little mini directs here and there. And they announced Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity for the Nintendo Switch.
Right, a Breath of Wild prequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With playing it Hyrule Warrior style there. But yeah, it's all the like I'm pretty pumped for this because that was playing Breath of the Wild. That was one of the things I was like, you walk through those old battlefields and you're like, man, this like these wars must have been epic with all these machines and like, and now you get to live them. Anyways, that's coming on November 20th. So it's either Cyberpunk or Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, I think how that one might not go well for the Hyrule Warriors folks.
Yeah.
But interesting day to pick, but
yeah, but it was right out of the blue. Like, like I when I saw the first images of it, I was like, oh, that's some really good fan fiction. And it's like, no, it's actually been announced. So, all right, that's the last bit of news I got. Why? Do you wanna tell us what you've been playing, and then I can get into my novel here.
Novel here. Well, I had been playing Borderlands 2 on the Switch. I got to a certain point where I'm like, I'm just not a controller kind of guy for that kind of game. I haven't played Borderlands 2 on PC for a long time. I'm going to see what the updates look like. And so I loaded it up again, and it looks amazing in 4K. Like, they've upgraded it to support 4K. Looks real good. So I started another campaign on that because it's my macaroni and cheese, or craft dinner, as we call it in Canada.
Where is that on Steam, or is that on Epic, or?
It's on both. I have the Steam version, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm gonna have to fire it up. Maybe we'll stream some 2-player of that. You can show me the ropes, because I've never.
There you go.
I've never played Borderlands 1, 2, 3 backstories.
Pre-sequel,
whatever.
Yeah.
Haven't played any of them. It's shameful, I know. Is that all you got? Is that all
that's
you've
all
been?
That's all I got. I've been getting a lot of stuff ready for the new job, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, fella?
So, as I mentioned, I started up Game Pass again. And also something happened in my household. In the mornings before work, I would get up and I would have a couple hours to play PS4 or Xbox on the living room TV. Because my wife would come in the office here and start her work day. Well, she's loaded up her work on a laptop, and now she starts her day out in the living room with the TV going and everything. So I've moved back into the computer room as my main gaming.
Great.
So, but that's not the first game I'm going to talk about.
No.
First game I'm going to talk about is Paper Mario: The Origami King. So, I've put 3 hours into it, and man, this game is so slow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm like, send me to look for something. Stop giving me so much to read. I need to do something. And then the battling is cool the first couple of times. Like, it's basically a puzzle.
Sure.
Like, there's like these 4 rings, and you got to line up the Goombas or whoever you're fighting in the best order to use your weapons on them. And the first like 5 or 6 times you do that, it's pretty neat. But then, if that continues to be the battle throughout the whole game, man, oh man. So, I'm feeling jammed on Paper Mario.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, pretty proud of myself.
I don't approve of it, but I see what you did there.
I don't. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed.
Oh dear.
To say the least. But I don't know. Maybe I'll go back when I'm feeling a little more patient. The big problem is I generally play my Switch before bed. Like, that's the main time I play. Like, an hour or 2 before calling it a night. And like, man, when I've been playing this, it's been like 45 minutes at the most. I'm like,
I'm sleepy. Oh boy.
So, next game I want to talk about is Domina. I was gifted this game by my brother-in-law, Dustin.
Oh yeah.
Because we were talking video games, and he's like, dude, this game, it's his comfort food game, because I was telling him about Masters of Orion.
Sure.
And basically it's like Lemonade Stand, except you're running gladiators in like ancient Rome. But you're managing like gladiators.
Okay.
So you can do the fighting, but I haven't done that yet. I've just let the AI do it. But basically, like, you're managing them, you're buying them food, you're buying them ladies of the night, you're expanding you're expanding your arena, you're training them.
Sure.
It's like a business simulator, but
gladiators.
With gladiators. And it's great. I've played through it like 3 times since I got it.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's great. Like if you like those kind of games where it's just like the graphics are really simple. Like it's almost all text. Like besides the battles that happen once in a while, and the battles are less than 30 seconds. Like
Sure.
it. So yeah, Domina on PC. I'm playing that off of Steam. Next up, it's my first Game Pass game. World War Z. I fired up on the PC.
Right.
And I don't know what draws me back to this game because I went back to it like 3-4 times on PS4, and just like I just was not having fun. But on PC, it's the shooting.
Right.
Because there's so much shooting.
Right.
It was killing me on the PS4 having to do it with thumbsticks. But the same kind of with you, like with Borderlands, like coming back to the mouse and keyboard, I'm finally getting the experience I want. And that is just mowing down hordes and hordes of zombies. So one thing I noticed they do really good in this game, besides like giving you a whole bunch of different weapons to pick up and use and stuff, is the zombies do not look alike. They seriously must have like 40 different body pieces that they like randomly generate. Because never once do you like have like, 5 construction workers all looking alike coming at you. Everybody looks different. But you start to see the same ones in the groups. Like a bit, but he'll have a different shirt on or something. But for the big effect of it, they're not just one type of zombie coming at you. And that really like adds to it once you kind of realize that.
Very cool.
Yeah. Next up, another Game Pass game. It's called Lonely Mountain Downhill. And basically it's mountain bike racing down a hill. Well, not even racing, because you're not racing, you're just always trying to beat your times.
Okay.
And it's a gorgeous game. You feel like you're playing in a diorama. Like it's got that kind of blurry perspective, like if you're looking at a diorama with the stuff going through it.
Sure.
So it's great. Like it's a great I put a couple hours into that too. I just got caught up in trying to beat my times, and it's simple enough to, easy to play, hard to master. That's the one that can go with that. Next, I'm still playing Control. Right. I'm loving that. Oh my, I love this game. Like, it's probably going to be my game of the year, even though it came out last year. Yeah.
Well, that's a grumpy old gamer thing to have.
Absolutely. But the world and just all the cool crap that happens in this game, and the gradual progression of your powers, and man.
Jesse Faden's a pretty likable character too, right?
Yeah.
A lot of spunk.
Yeah. And
that's what the kids say, right? Spunk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A lot of moxie.
That kid's got spunk.
Ha
ha. So the last two here I have on my list are Grand Theft Auto 5 and Burnout Paradise.
Right. 2 new recent games, yeah.
Again, 2 new recent games. But I've been co-op playing these games with my wife.
Oh. You've been co-oping Grand Theft Auto 5 with your wife?
So I fell down a rabbit hole a couple weekends ago trying to find out if they ever updated the car crash portion of Burnout 2. Okay. And I'm like, well, I don't have Burnout 3 anywhere, but Burnout Paradise. So I did some reading, and they kind of said this one mode was kind of like it, and it's not.
Gotcha.
But I was playing it, and Julie was like, "Hey, let me give this a try." So, so we curled up on the couch, and she was playing that. And when she got sick of that, she's like, "Do we still have Grand Theft Auto 5?" Because she had played it. She had played it before with her kids when they were playing it on the PS2 or 3 or whatever it would have been on. And dude, it brings me such joy.
Yeah.
Like, just, just if you know my wife, it's very
Mhm.
funny that she'll just run up to someone on the street and punch them, like just in the game, but then be worried about like running into a school bus with her car because there may be
Mhm.
children.
Yep. Yep. No.
So, when she gets a little tired of playing or there's a tough shooting part, she hands it over to me and like I give her
Right. Right.
directions. So
Sure.
we've been doing that with both those games. And been doing it about 2 weeks now. It's a lot of fun.
Right. You sure the proper way a pimp would slap his
Oh,
women of the
absolutely.
night? And
She showed me.
oh, there you go. Oh. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Sure. Sure.
Been a busy boy.
Mhm.
Very busy boy. So I don't think I talked about it yet, but we've kind of let our retro picks and cheap bag game challenges fall
Mhm.
a little, but I did introduce last week a segment we're going to intermix with the cheap bag game challenge, and that's the backlog of good intentions.
Yes. Yes.
And I did the first one. I found a game in my Steam library. I don't know where it came from. I imagine it's been in one of the humble bundles where I just
Sure.
madly add 30 games to my library. And
Yep. Yep.
the game I played was Beat Cop, which is you're a cop. You have one street to look after. It's like 8-bit graphics, like retro graphics, and like you just walk up and down the street and talk to people on the street, and there's a whole story going on because you're the
Sure.
new guy in town, and it's all right. I'll play it again when I find time.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, it looked good. It looked
Yeah,
very. You were like a detective who had been demoted or something, right? And was back at being a beat cop or something. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a whole little story, and just one of those good little time waster games.
Right.
Like I don't know. I didn't think like I had to think a lot
Right.
while I was playing it. So
Yeah, it's just like a snack size game, like a lot of indie titles or Red Dead
exactly.
Redemption 2 or
Oh yeah,
something where you could just mindlessly play.
mindlessly
Yeah.
click on stuff. Yep.
Yep. Click, click. Clean my gun.
So yeah, I don't know. One of us will do something this week. Probably be me
Yeah.
because I think you're a little busy getting back into a schedule here.
Yeah,
So,
I've got I guess you had your retro pick you were going to do Strider, right? That was the big.
yeah, I teased that I'm going to do a retro pick of
Yeah.
Strider there.
And I'll do something here. Like I'll pick a night and record my version of Backlog of Good Intentions, I guess.
Okay.
Watch for it on the channel, on the nets,
On the webs.
on the webs, the internets.
Well, other than that, Rob, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, you bet. Anything making you grumpy?
No, I think we kind of covered it in
Yeah.
our
Screw
news as
Sony.
usual.
Yeah.
Sony, it's really feeling like they're taking a bit of an elitist just stance with they're like, you're gonna buy our stuff.
You're gonna buy it.
What are
Exactly.
we worried about? I mean, okay, Xbox is so fun. I haven't had a chance to build it yet, but this is my 1/3 scale.
Yep.
Series S. They put out on their page. You could print out and build a Series X out of paper, so you can figure out where you're going to put it.
Yep.
How fun is that?
It's good fun. The Xbox's social media game is very strong.
It is very strong.
Mm-hmm.
They are doing very well.
Yep. Yep. They've lived long enough to become the good guy.
Yep.
Which is funny.
I mean, at the launch, think back, at the launch of the last generation, they were the ones trying to make it impossible for you to trade discs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They were. They were.
Yeah. Well, all right. Again, I don't think we mentioned it when we were blabbering on about our Patreon before, but if you go to patreon.com, I'll have a little thing pop up down here that shows where you can go, and that you just go to patreon.com, search out the Grumpy Old Gamers, and if you'd like to support us, we'd love you forever.
Or at least long time.
Or a long time.
Yeah.
If you didn't do that, I was going to say, or Rob will love you a long time, but you knew when to jump in.
Yeah, it's true.
That's why, I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, exactly, right?
If you want to contact us, you can reach us at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. And we have a website, thegrumpyoldgamers.com. And then we've picked up our social media game. You can pretty much look for us anywhere. Just search for us just search out the Grumpy Old Gamers.
I think now if you search us on the Googles, we're number one search. It took a while. We beat the other guys. We
beat him into submission.
Grumpy Old Gamer. Oh nope, Stitcher, it's back. We're number 2.
We're number 2. We're number 2.
We're number 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're number 5. We're number 5. Yeah. Anyways, look us up.
Yes.
We're going to keep doing this. And that's a threat.
It's true. It's true. And thanks for listening.
And of course, thanks for listening. Have a good evening, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.